question sent in asking, how do you write melodic music? Very good question, and definitely a subjective one to answer, meaning that a lot of it's going to be based on opinion, but I think there's a general idea of what people feel is melodic and what isn't. So typically when we say melodic, we're talking about something that has some kind of melody. Melody, usually when you think melody, or at least I think of melody, I'm thinking of like the melody of something that's being sung. So taking that, something that's melodic, like melodic music, guitar parts, bass parts, whatever, has a very singable quality. It's like it has something that you can kind of sing along with. It also has like a pleasant sound to it. So a lot of stuff that's melodic is based off of your major scale or your minor scale. So like the major scale sounding like this. So like all the notes seem to fit with each other. It kind of has a nice pleasant sound as it comes up and comes down. You can do all sorts of things within that shape. And then you have the minor scale, the same key. I'm playing in the key of C, in case you're wondering. And within that, stuff like that is considered melodic. So, kind of like a video I recently did, talking like songwriting tips. Basically, like learn your scales, and I'll post a link to that, or if you're on YouTube, watch the annotation that's up right now. If you're on Facebook, I should have a link in the video description for that. But anyway, if you're learning scale shapes, like learning how to play your 7 modes that come from the major scale, will help you write melodic music, because basically, it's almost a fail-safe. Like if you just stay within your scale shapes, you're going to be writing melodic things. So even if you're just like messing around, even if it's just like power chord type stuff, and then you could do like major and minor third intervals, or I like to call them 2-finger major and minor chords. Works well with distortion as well. But you can go between power chords and the 2-finger major and minors. So I was just messing around in the various scale shapes that are found in the key of A minor or key of C. So it's really not that easy of a question to answer. I mean, the short answer is just learn your scales, learn various chord shapes within them, and then you start messing around and see what sounds good to you. But basically, here's an example of something that's not very melodic. A lot of death metal stuff, some thrash metal, black metal, not something that's considered melodic, because it's very, you could describe it as like very atonal, like, well, so here, I'll just give an example. Like this would not be a very melodic thing to play. That's definitely not considered melodic. It just sounds like a big mess. I think another question that was asked was like, how do you make melodic rhythms? I would equate that to like making something catchy, like like that, like da 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 da. That's something that kind of gets stuck in your head. Of like something like. That's a rhythm that you can kind of get stuck in your head, but something again like more death metal type sounding or black metal. This is definitely not a rhythm that gets stuck in your head. There's no change in the rhythm. It's just straight picking the whole time, and then using chords like that, making like non-melodic note choices, very kind of off-color setting. So hopefully those examples show you what is not melodic, so you can kind of get a better idea of like how to write more melodic things. So again, as I said before, if you want to write melodic music, I highly recommend learn your scale shapes, learn what chords go along with it, so this way you know what sounds good together. Now there are going to be some exceptions, like this stuff like this is in or found in your major scale laid throughout the fretboard. Like that one may not sound very melodic to some people it does. We have a diminished chord that happens in key. Sound a little bit better clean, but this guy here, like that's found within the major scale. Most people don't like the sound of that chord. It doesn't really sound very melodic, but it is in key. Another one, this is in the key of G. It's actually one of my favorite chords. Kind of has a very off color sound to it. Some people would not consider that melodic. I happen to love the way it sounds. Let's see, another example. This is back into the key of C. So that's all in key. Sounds a little abrasive, I think. So some people would not consider that melodic. So, but if you do like basic things like your C major, A minor, E minor, D minor, and things like that, those are considered melodic. So lots of minor chords, major chords, even doing like seventh chords, add nine chords. Add nines are very popular to use to have a very melodious sound. And like one of my favorite chords is a minor flat 6. So this would be A minor flat 6. Love that sound. But yeah, so I'll wrap this up. So learn your scales, learn the chords that go along with those scales, and just experiment and see what sounds good to you. Try and make things singable, and if you want, and try and do catchy sounding rhythms. I would learn songs that you find melodic already. So learn what other people have done first, so you can get, well, I guess you don't have to do it first, but learn what other people have done that you find melodic. So this way you have a better understanding of how they created those sounds. So this way you are more capable of creating melodic and catchy songs yourself. So if you have any questions about this video or anything about music, I'd be happy to answer your questions, and thank you for watching.